Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook. You know the drill. I mean, you're always here. Sometimes I wonder if I should be repeating my same spiel every single day because I never know when, well, maybe it's, never mind. Everybody should know this, but I'm going to say it again. This is our morning get together live here on Facebook. What do? We share news, we share headlines, we drink coffee, we share information, we ask questions from one another, we just exchange information and put it to good use as we make our lives more rewarding, more connected here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. It is a pleasure to get together with you on this Wednesday, April 6th, and it doesn't matter how we put it out there. The bottom line is we are here to connect. We are here to connect with one another, with what's happening around us, and to see what everybody is up to. It is so warm right now around me. I have one ceiling fan coming from over here. I have another fan coming from over there. And it's this heat wave. Excuse me. There's a heat wave. We're going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about other important things. We're going to have, what else do we have today? We have the latest on the ferry that is going to take us to San Blas. We have updates on the Van Gogh in Guadalajara. We have updates on this interesting debate going on between our local government and the nice folks living on Río Tíber in Fluvial. And we have an update on the Insurgentes St bridge, which is actually a non-update because it's not ready. But we have all kinds of things. As always, before we get started, please let us know that you are new. You can do that if this is the first time that you're watching us live by adding the word new to your comment, and we'll be so very happy to give you a nice welcome. And if you have something truly important that you wish to share during the broadcast, it helps a great deal if you add a letter Q at the beginning of your comment, and that way we make sure to look for it during our chit-chat section in the second half. Lastly, as always, we welcome our friends that watch us on YouTube later on. There's no commenting on YouTube, but we appreciate your thumbs up. We appreciate your subscribing to the channel, where we don't not only feature these daily broadcasts, but all the walks, all the walkarounds that we do. They are released to YouTube separately from the daily broadcasts on their own playlists. So if you want to enjoy them without the ongoing commentary, you can do that as well. So I think that's enough housekeeping. I think it's a good, oh, there's a new person. Yay, John Drinkard. Oh, I'm sure I'm messing up your last name, John, but welcome to Coffee and Headlines. You are in San Miguel de Allende, which is a favorite city of mine. Oh, how I wish I was over there. Thank you for the comments on the t-shirt. This is my best cat dad ever t-shirt that I love to wear. I got it at Optima, of course. Anyhow, let us get started with the broadcast and we'll take it from there. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, this is really important for those who haven't completed their COVID vaccination scheme. The ongoing vaccination campaign, the one that ends tomorrow, will be the last massive campaign organized by our state's health department. Moving forward, there will be no more La Lija, no more Naval Hospital. Moving forward and starting in May, all anti-COVID vaccines will be offered at local health centers. So vaccines will continue to be available, but what will change is the logistics of where and how they are applied. This is something that the state government has been trying to persuade the federal government to do, and apparently Governor Alfaro got his wish. And so just keep that in mind. There will not be any more pilgrimages to La Lija. We will be going to the local health centers. I think we included the location of at least one health center in our general reference map. If not, when the next campaigns arrive, we will be updating the map with the location of the local health centers so we can find out easily where we should go in case we happen to need another vaccine. And it is worth mentioning that according to the state health secretary, Fernando Peterson, that only 45% of Jalisco's population has yet to receive the booster shot. The good news is, however, that 85% of the population in the state has received at least one vaccine. So, as I mentioned, vaccinations operatives will continue moving forward. We will just not be going in mass as we have been going up until now. And speaking of operatives, Puerto Vallarta says they are ready, or we are ready, the government is anyway, for the upcoming vacation period we know as Semana Santa and Semana de Pascua. Traditionally, we've talked about this before, but Semana Santa is the first week of the two. It's the actual Holy Week, which is where most people come. But then Semana de Pascua is also popular for people that are able to take that second week off. And it's usually a slightly different type of tourism, more, oh my goodness, how can I come up with the right word without ruffling any feathers? More sophisticated. Let's leave it at that. Anyhow, the operative goes into effect this coming Saturday, and it continues until April 24th. And as in years past, this involves several departments of the city, including the Civil Protection Department, firefighters, security, and traffic departments to ensure that there are no incidents that can compromise our tourists and their ability to enjoy their time here in Puerto Vallarta. At the same time, though, the clock is ticking for the Insurgentes St Bridge, which is not complete, and we are 3 days away from the increasing arrival of thousands of tourists looking to enjoy themselves in the sun and surf. Yes, that's correct. Semana Santa is next week, so those people that are able to take the entire semana off will probably start arriving in their vehicles as early as either Friday evening or Saturday morning. Now, we have eyewitness reports that workers have been at the Insurgentes St Bridge day in and day out, but the completion of the bridge, or at least its ability to allow vehicles to go by, is still uncertain. We learned this morning that, pretty picture, there it is, that Puerto Vallarta will receive 22 cruise ships this month, with several double and several triple arrivals scheduled throughout the month. We also learned that the Vidanta Elegant, which is Vidanta's own little vessel, will do its inaugural 3-day journey from Puerto Vallarta to Mazatlan and back on April 14th. That's the day in which the ship departs for the first time. We still don't know how much it costs or many details about it, but it'll be interesting to see what that is all about once we have some reports from people that have done it. It is also interesting to learn that over 40,000 passengers, cruise ship passengers, are expected to disembark and enjoy our city during this month. So people are taking cruises, people are enjoying them, and I think that's a good thing. What is not a good thing is the fact that the National Water Commission has announced a heat wave taking over parts of the city, parts of the country, rather, including our state, starting now. As in, I can feel the heat, and they say some parts of the state will reach 40 degrees Celsius in the near future. Let's see what Carrot Weather has to say about that. Well, Carrot Weather thinks that cloud looks like a pregnant hippopotamus. Okay, fair enough. It is 24 degrees right now. It feels like 26. Humidity is a high 60%. And our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 76 degrees, 76 Fahrenheit. Our weather forecast for today says mostly cloudy through the day with a high temperature of 28, a low temperature of 18. Then tomorrow, Thursday, it'll be partly cloudy with a high temperature of 30 and a low temperature of 19. And Friday, again, partly cloudy with a high temperature of 30 and a low temperature of 20. So it seems that it's not so much that the daytime temperature will increase as much as the evening and nighttime temperatures will increase locally. One way or another, this is just the beginning of our warmer weather season, so we want to get ready for that. So I suppose it's not a bad thing that we're having a heat wave right now, because it's a reminder of what we can expect later on in the year. Now, yesterday, we reported on the nice folks living along Río Tíber in Fluvial, who went ahead and set up their own speed bumps and decorated streets with planters, large planters, to impede drivers to use the street as a two-way street as it was designed. Someone from the cluster even commented that the nice folks in Fluvial had permission from the government to do this. But these images seem to paint a different picture. Yesterday afternoon, the makeshift speed bumps that Fluvial residents paid for and decided to put on the street, apparently on their own terms, have been removed. And the street will be a two-way street as designed. It is also worth mentioning that the bridge that connects Fluvial with the rest of the city was paid for the city and not by Fluvial. So, all I can hope is that everybody can reach some kind of an agreement about this. But I don't think it's a good idea when people decide to, it's like if I decide to go outside of my street and decide to put speed bumps just because I feel like it or because my opinion is more important than the government, is probably not the best way to get things done. But we'll continue to follow this, and we'll keep you posted on it. We get a nice reminder from the nice folks of Noticias PV that the viewpoint up by the Cerro de la Cruz that you're looking at on this picture is far from complete. This was never, in case you were wondering, this was never supposed to be the way it was supposed to look. According to this report, the final product was supposed to be a lot prettier or a lot more elaborate than what it is. I actually went online to try to find renderings of the original project as it was designed, but I couldn't find any. And it's not surprising. This project was started over 3 administrations ago. That would be over 9 years ago. And somewhere along the line, it became yet another political promise unfulfilled. Nothing more to say about that, but I thought you would find it interesting. I also learned this morning that we now know the first vessel that is going to take tourists from uh, the port of San Blas to the Maria Islands is this thing. And I say thing because it looks like a funny ferry. It has the capacity for 70 passengers. And we have learned, well, we already knew that the port of San Blas has been retrofitted with a new terminal that will allow larger vessels to be able, ferries to be able to take passengers from San Blas to Las Islas Marias, which we recall have just been opened for tourism or will be open for tourism in a matter of days. Uh, and this is all good news. Of course, we also heard originally that Vidanta was not going to be involved in the operation. They said we will not make any stops at Las Islas Marias, but we have learned since that Vidanta will be operating two other ferries that will leave from San Blas and Mazatlan to go visit the islands. We also learned a few days ago that whereas the Maria Islands were originally scheduled for day trips only, one will actually have the opportunity to visit them and stay there overnight for 1 or 2 nights maximum. So there are still no ways to get there from Puerto Vallarta. I suppose at least through this summer, if we want to explore the Maria Islands, Mexico's last penal colony, we will have to find our way to San Blas and then schedule the ferry and then maybe stay, maybe not. I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but it's an adventure that I'm very, very curious about, and we will definitely keep you posted on this moving forward. This is something that I found on Facebook this morning. God knows I go through enough wine bottles that I should think of a creative way to use them. And the nice folks at the Annex Studio and Gallery at the Witchery Salon, whoa, that's a big, big name, are announcing this workshop of dot mandala bottle painting. This is going to take place on Friday. Apparently, this is going to be 500 pesos, and it includes all the materials that you will need. I believe that this gallery is the same gallery that coordinated the recent tour of the street art, the public murals that are around Cinco de Diciembre and thereabouts. So this could be an interesting way to spend an afternoon in case you're wondering what to do on Friday afternoon. I also found this other bit of news, which I thought was interesting. Daylight savings came, and we changed our clocks, and we know that the Mexico Senate was intending to decide whether we will continue to observe daylight savings or not moving forward. And thanks to this news item, we learned that the discussions are still going on, and that the government is waiting for some technical reports so that they can make a final decision for next year whether we will observe daylight savings or not. Finally, we announced yesterday that we thought it was really strange that the Van Gogh immersive experience in Guadalajara was opening today when they just announced yesterday that tickets had gone available on sale. And now we learn that they have shifted the opening date. They have delayed it for a month. The opening of the Van Gogh immersive experience will open to the public on May 8th. And if by chance you happen to get some tickets, they will, for dates prior to that, they will make sure that you find a way to reschedule your visit if possible. So this is a bummer because that's precisely the weekend in which I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to go to Guadalajara, and I don't know that I'll get a chance to see it, but the good news is that it will be happening through the month of May, and I think 2 or 3 additional months. Finally, before we dive into your comments, yet another one of these wonderful articles from the New York Times. This one is 5 minutes that will make you love Renaissance music. The article includes some commentary from professional musicians and music critics, and includes links to specific albums which you can enjoy, all centered around Renaissance music, which you may or may not be familiar with. What a great opportunity to learn a little bit of what this is all about. And this, my friends, wraps up our news. I scratched my forehead. I'm feeling schwitzy. And now let's take a quick look at some of your comments for today, starting with your good mornings, which always make me so very happy as I thump my chest. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Ryan is coming from Chevy Chase in less than 2 months. That's great to hear, Ryan. It's wonderful that you follow us from afar and that you are part of our cluster, even when you are not an English-speaking local. And that actually goes for everyone that is not actually living here in Puerto Vallarta that follows us. It is a pleasure to have you here, particularly when I know that you see Puerto Vallarta as a second home. Um, Dave reports a fabulous dinner at Yale last night. Best veggie tempura ever. A must try. I must say that I'm not familiar with the restaurant, Dave, but I will be glad to look it up to see where it is and what it is about. I always love hearing from new restaurant experiences because that seems to be the pastime that brings us all together for the most part. Let's see. Another counter. My 30 days here. Oh, this is a counter that's getting ready to leave, Ronald. But Ronald has booked another trip. That is wonderful to hear. Let's see. Another counter. Ramon will be here in 15 days. How exciting. Thank you for letting us know. I love reading all these counter reports because I myself get excited when I'm getting ready to go somewhere. So do indulge me when we do this. Let's see what else. Jim comments, over 100 watching live. Yes, we have days in which we get a lot of people. We have days in which we don't get that many. But it's nice to know that as a whole, Coffee and Headlines as a project is growing in popularity. And this makes me very happy. It's all thanks to you. When you spread the word, when you let other people know what we're up to here. And it's very much appreciated. Randall is back home in Windsor, Ontario till next January. Thanks for all your guidance through our 3-month stay. We made it to 10 restaurants on the map. That is so cool. That is just wonderful. You know, whenever we hear that you connect with some of the things that we bring on a daily basis, it really makes my day. Gary arrives on Sunday for 3 weeks. That is most awesome. And let's see what else we have. David says, my husband of 34 years is on a plane headed your way. Uh-oh. I follow shortly. Hope to see you out and about after the crowds are smaller. We'll just look for the crazy hats and the funny looking cameras, and it's probably me when I'm out and about. There's another comment here. Tomorrow we fly from Canada to Mexico. We'll be locals for a couple of weeks. Doesn't that feel good, Brian? I remember living in Boston, and whenever I got a chance to go to Provincetown, I always felt like I was a local, even if it was just for a few days. So it's a good thing. Let's see. The Street Art Murals Tour was sponsored by the Hive Galleria, so I may have mentioned the wrong Galleria. My bad, but thank you for clarifying that. Just to make sure that we don't get our wires crossed. The Mandala Bottle Painting Workshop is sponsored by the Annex Studio and Gallery at the Witchery Salon. The Street Art Murals Tour was sponsored by the Hive Gallerias. Bottom line is how wonderful it is that there's all these creative projects that one can enjoy. Glee Audrey is taking the class, the Mandala class. Please let us know how it goes. If I can clear my day on Friday, I would be tempted. I actually would be. But it's nice to know that somebody we know is taking the class. How old is lovely Luna? I think she's going on 6 this coming spring. She's going to be 6 years of age. I always get those dates mixed up, but she's becoming a señora. And pretty soon she will be a doña. And of course, in Mexico, in some parts of South America, doña is a lot more than a señora. Señora is Mrs., but when you call somebody a doña, you're actually saying that this lady is of age, but of respect as well. So Luna is bound to become Doña Luna at some point in her life, probably in a couple of years. And this, my friends, brings us to the end of today's broadcast. No walk today, but we will try to walk before the end of the week. That's for sure. We have to go out at some point. But in the meantime, we're enjoying a lot of time indoors, just making sure that we stay healthy, productive, and connected. So until next time, do the same thing. Please stay connected, stay healthy, stay kind, and take very good care of yourselves. Again, if you haven't stocked your pantry for Semana Santa and you want to avoid busy supermarkets, this is the time to do it, because starting on Friday, it will start to get a little crazy out there. So have a great day. Have a great rest of the week, and I hope to see you again soon, maybe even tomorrow. Ciao.